Good morning, my dear student. On the behalf of KTGM College Nasik and Department of Chemistry of this college, I am Dr. S.R. Labde, welcomes you to the lecture on electrogravimetric analysis. Student, in previous lecture we discussed different steps involved in gravimetric analysis and complete technique of gravimetric analysis. We know that gravimetric analysis is the quantitative analysis by weight, and this technique is applicable for determination of those substances which are get precipitated by chemical reaction as well as the precipitate is isolated by filtration technique, and it is purified by washing with electrolyte solution. And finally, the precipitate can be obtained, the PPT can be obtained in a stoichiometric form by drying and ignition process. Therefore, substances which can be precipitated by a chemical reaction, these precipitate can be isolated by filtration technique. The precipitate can be purified by washing that precipitate with dilute solution of electrolyte, and finally we can obtain that compound or that precipitate in a stoichiometric form by drying and ignition operation. Therefore, very few compounds those are analyzed gravimetrically because most of the substances does not satisfy any one of these conditions, and therefore there is requirement of electrogravimetry. What is electrogravimetry? Electrogravimetry is the derivative technique of gravimetric analysis in which some substance which is to be determined is electrolytically deposited onto the electrode and an increase in weight of electrode is utilized for determination of substances, determination of analyte or substances. Therefore, gravimetry is a derivative technique of, electrogravimetry is a derivative technique of gravimetry in which substances which are to be determined is electrolytically deposited onto the electrode and increase in weight of the electrode is determined. Student, gravimetric analysis is applicable for determination of compounds. Those are isolated by precipitation technique, and electrogravimetric technique is applicable for those substances which are precipitated by a electrolysis process. Therefore, the substances which undergo a reduction with deposition onto the cathode, or the substances which undergo oxidation with their deposition onto the anode are only determined by a electrogravimetry. Therefore, electrogravimetry is applicable for determination of those substances which are get reduced during electrolysis process, and those are get deposited onto the cathode. And substances which are get oxidized during electrolysis and get deposited onto the anode, only these type of substances are determined by a technique of electrogravimetry. Therefore, here in electrogravimetry, total electrolysis process is governed by Faraday's law of electrolysis. And before that, we discuss the principle of this electrogravimetric analysis. Therefore, here principle of electrogravimetry or electrogravimetric analysis. In electrogravimetric analysis, sample is made a part of electrochemical cell or electrolysis cell, and here that sample is therefore, in electrogravimetric analysis, electrolysis is carried out and sample is electrolytically deposited onto the cathode or the anode. Therefore, this is a electrolysis cell containing, this is cathode, this is anode, this is analyte solution, G is galvanometer, V is voltmeter, this is a potentiometric wire, by which we can decrease or increase the resistance of this cell. This is a DC power supply. DC means direct current power supply. DC power supply, or you can say a battery. And here negative terminal of the battery is connected to the electrode, that is a cathode, and cathode is the electrode on which reduction takes place, and positive terminal of the battery is connected to anode. Anode is the electrode on which a oxidation takes place. Therefore, here in this case we can deposit that analyte by reduction process onto the cathode or by oxidation process onto the anode. An increase in weight of cathode or anode is determined by a quantitative analysis of the substance. Therefore, in electrogravimetry, an analyte solution is made a part of electrolysis cell containing cathode and anode. With the application of DC potential, the analyte solution is electrolyzed. If analyte undergo reduction, that get deposited onto the cathode, and the weight of cathode increases, and if analyte undergo oxidation, that get deposited onto the anode, and weight of anode increases. Therefore, the amount of substance thus deposited is determined. The amount of substance is determined by determining increase in weight of cathode or anode. Therefore, here in electrogravimetric analysis, analyte solution is made a part of electrolysis cell containing cathode and anode. With the application of DC potential, direct current potential, analyte solution is electrolyzed. If analyte undergo oxidation, that get deposited onto the anode, and if analyte undergo reduction, that get deposited onto the cathode. Oxidation is a loss of electron and reduction is a gain of electron. Here cathode provides electron for reduction process and anode takes electron from the analyte during the oxidation process. Therefore, when analyte is deposited by reduction process, then weight of cathode increases, and if analyte is oxidized, then weight of anode is increases. Therefore, amount of substance is determined by determining the increase in weight of cathode or anode. This is the principle of electrogravimetry. And electrogravimetry process is totally controlled by Faraday's law of electrolysis. Student, now we discuss the Faraday's law of electrolysis. The total electrolysis process in electrogravimetry is controlled by Faraday's law of electrolysis, and here Faraday's first law of electrolysis. First law of electrolysis. The statement of this law is like this: the amount of substance liberated or deposited onto the electrode during electrolysis is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passing through electrolyte solution. Therefore, in this case, according to first law of electrolysis, the amount of substance liberated or deposited at electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity. Therefore, here W, that is the amount of substance liberated in gram, is directly proportional to Q, that is the quantity of electricity. Or this quantity of electricity is expressed in terms of current and time. And therefore, W is equal to Z into I into T. Therefore, according to Faraday's law of electrolysis, amount of substance liberated is the product of electrochemical equivalent, I, that is a current in ampere, and T, time in second. Therefore, call this equation as equation number 1, and in this equation W is the weight of substance deposited in gram. Here I is constant current strength in ampere, T is time in seconds, and Z is electrochemical equivalent. Here in this case, Z is electrochemical equivalent, which is the proportionality constant. Now in this case, we can define the Z electrochemical equivalent the proportionality constant in this equation is called as electrochemical equivalent. Electrochemical equivalent Z is the amount of substance liberated by 1 coulomb electricity. Therefore, here W is equal to Z into I is 1 ampere into T is 1 second. Then W is equal to Z for 1 coulomb electric charge. And this is called as electrochemical equivalent. Therefore, in this case, in this equation, Z is a proportionality constant, and that is called as electrochemical equivalent. Electrochemical equivalent is the amount of substance liberated or deposited by a 1 coulomb electricity. And here this Z is required for calculation of the amount of substance liberated when we know the current strength in ampere and time in second. Student, now we discuss one problem, or we solve one problem based on this Faraday's first law of electrolysis. First problem is that if a 5.0 ampere current strength is passed through silver nitrate solution, AgNO3 solution for 1 hour, calculate the amount of silver deposited given electrochemical equivalent of silver is equal to 1.118 into 10 raised to minus 3 gram per coulomb. Now here we have to find out amount of silver deposited, and here a current strength and time is given. Therefore, according to Faraday's first law of electrolysis, W is equal to Z into I into T. Therefore, W is equal to Z, that is 1.118 into 10 raised to minus 3 into I is 5.0 ampere into T is 1 hour into 60 minute into 60 second. Therefore, here W is equal to 1.118 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 5.0 into 3.600 into 10 raised to plus 3. This minus 3 and this plus 3 get cancelled, and therefore W is equal to 1.118 into 5.0 into 3.6. Final, this product is 20.124 gram, and that is a amount of silver deposited from a silver nitrate solution if we pass 5 ampere current strength for 1 hour. Therefore, this is a amount of substance liberated, or amount of silver deposited onto the electrode. Similarly, we can solve another problem, and that is also based on Faraday's first law of electrolysis. In this problem, we can find out what current strength in ampere, is required to liberate 10.0 gram of iodine from potassium iodide solution in a 120 minutes, given electrochemical equivalent of iodine is 1.32 into 10 raised to minus 3 gram per coulomb. Here this problem is also based on the Faraday's first law of electrolysis, and here W is equal to Z into I into T. We have to use same formula, and here we have to find out how much is the current strength in ampere required to liberate 10 gram of iodine in a 120 minute. Therefore, W is equal to Z into I into T. We have to find out here I. Therefore, I is equal to W upon Z into T. Therefore, here this equation becomes I is equal to amount of substance liberated divided by electrochemical equivalent into time. Therefore, I is equal to, here I is 10.0 gram divided by Z is 1.32 into 10 raised to minus 3 into T is 120 minute into 60, that is second, and here I is equal to 10.0 gram divided by 1.32 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 3.6 into 10 raised to plus 3. Sorry, not 6, 7.2 into 10 raised to plus 3. Therefore, minus 3 and plus 3 get cancelled. Therefore, I is equal to 10.0 divided by 1.32 into 7.2, and this I equal to 1.0522 ampere. Therefore, this much current strength is required to liberate 10 gram of iodine from potassium iodide solution in 120 minutes. Student, this is all about the electrogravimetry, principle of electrogravimetry and Faraday's first law of electrogravimetry and applications of Faraday's first law of electrolysis, that is based on the problem. Student, you can solve this home assignment. Number 1, define or what is electrogravimetry. Give its principle. Second, state and explain Faraday's first law of electrolysis. First law of electrolysis. Again, number 3, you can define Coulomb and electrochemical equivalent. Next, you can also define cathode and anode as well as oxidation and reduction, but you can solve the problems based on Faraday's first law of electrolysis. This is all about the home assignment. Student, now we stop here. Now it's time to invite you to my next lecture on electrogravimetric analysis. Thanks for joining me. Keep learning. Happy learning. Thank you.